people. It's a beautiful day outside. I made a video last night on some of the classical arguments of whether or not God exists, and this morning I just wanted to talk about some of my own particular beliefs, so this will be part 2. And I think it's up to the theist, who often overrides common sense and uses rhetoric to convince people over logic. It's their burden to place the logic before the rhetoric, so anyone listening to them is not deceived. For critical thinking, it's important to use grammar, place your logic next, and then use rhetoric, which is like the art of convincing people of what you're trying to share. And often, when you go to church and stuff, the rhetoric, the convincing, the stories, the art of convincing is first and foremost, and the logic isn't placed before that. So they use grammar, rhetoric, and then the logic's kind of left out, or sometimes manipulated because the rhetoric's placed before it. It's part of the system of the trivium, which leads into the quadrivium, which is fascinating. I think everybody should learn that before they go to school, and it makes for a better understanding of everything. It's pretty fascinating stuff, especially when you get into music and time and geometry and astrology and all of those fascinating things, and it makes everything more relevant today. Most of our schooling now is decompartmentalized, so we don't learn everything holistically. But so when you make a claim of existence, it can only be that it does or does not exist, otherwise it's unknown. So if it can't be proven, who knows really? Two ways to look at existence. You cannot believe in something until conclusive evidence is found, or you can believe in something until evidence concludes non-existence. Common sense would go against the latter, right? It's important to have an open mind. I believe an open mind is being willing to revise your beliefs and be open to possibilities when making decisions. A closed mind has limits and few possibilities, so it doesn't help either way. I think a suitable approach would be to investigate it like a crime scene after examining physical evidence with sound reasoning, determine if there is an accomplice to what you're investigating, and examine the effects and search for a cause, in a sense. So cause and effect type thing. I guess I'm not the best at practicing grammar, logic, and rhetoric, or the trivium, but I try to, and when I do research, I try to use that trivium method, and it really kind of helps pan things out. And this is just my own thoughts on, does God exist? We have to kind of examine it. So to justify a scientific method, we should examine what is God using grammar, logic, and rhetoric. The Bible and many ancient texts say in the beginning was the Word, or Nada Brahma, or the sound is the universe, or God spoke and created. Okay, so let's take that and kind of go with it. So in the beginning was the Word. The Word was with God and was God. So the Word was first, and then the God, the God, was second. And I found a long time ago, I was watching a documentary, and this guy had found when the English word for God, God, was created, there was 52 some odd different names strung throughout the Bible of God in different languages and stuff. So they were trying to bring it into one name under God. And from what I understand, that word, it meant generatio ordo destro. And it was a combination of 3 Latin words, which would mean generator, organizer, destructor. I don't have the reference because I learned that a long time ago, but beyond that, let's look at this. So what is a word? A word is the smallest meaningful element that may be uttered. So what is an utterance? An utter is complete and absolute sound. You can look up these definitions yourself. What is sound? A wave of frequency that travels through manipulating plasma, solids, liquids, and gas, or essentially the elements. So what is a wave? A wave is a motion that transfers energy that consists of vibrations. So the word was first sound, energy, frequency, and vibration that manipulate the elements and cause them to generate, organize, and destruct. Much like you can think of like a somatic experiment, where one particular frequency will pull particles together into geometric order, and then as that frequency changes, it'll dissipate and move into another shape. So all the different frequencies perhaps is holding the whole universe in place. Maybe God being secondary, or God being secondary to the word, was the effect or the action, and the word was the cause. If this is the case, then God does exist. We live in a universe of energy, frequency, and vibration, generating, organizing, and destruction all around us. We're made in the image. We have a voice that we project and use our will to manifest and generate, organize, and destruct our own lives throughout life. Maybe that's why Tesla said, to understand the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And then when you think of that, and you think of like The Secret and all this New Age stuff coming out about the law of attraction and vibration, and you think of all these particles being in motion and everything in the universe having an equal and opposite reaction, it all starts to pan out and make sense. So that's just my thoughts. I'm curious to hear what you might think. Anyways, have a beautiful day, people. Not a Brahman.